Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NewsBrowse News broadcast. UPI reports that a North Korean hacking group, APT-37, linked to the country's military intelligence agency, has launched sophisticated spear phishing attacks. The group impersonated police investigators, defense officials, and North Korea experts to target South Korean security and policy figures. According to Genians, a South Korean cybersecurity company, the attackers crafted highly customized messages, leveraging publicly available information and personal data from previous breaches to establish trust with their victims. Their deceptive tactics included claiming to possess North Korean nuclear power plant materials for researchers or posing as a police investigator regarding suspicious server activity. These attacks, which continued through last month, aimed for cyber espionage, financial gain, evidenced by over $1.4 billion in cryptocurrency stolen last year, and the acquisition of sensitive defense and technology information. The report highlights North Korea's ongoing efforts to strengthen its external information collection and cyber operations, particularly following the reorganization and renaming of its intelligence bodies. NBC News reports that Google announced it had successfully disrupted a criminal group's attempt to use artificial intelligence to exploit a previously unknown digital vulnerability in another company's systems. This incident has intensified concerns across government and industry regarding AI's cybersecurity risks. John Hultquist, chief analyst at Google's threat intelligence arm, stated that this marks the arrival of the long-feared era of AI-driven vulnerability and exploitation. The attackers used an AI large language model to discover a zero-day exploit, enabling them to bypass two-factor authentication for an online system administration tool. Google notified the affected company and law enforcement, preventing any damage. While the specific AI model and hacker group were not named, Google indicated it was likely not their own Gemini or Anthropic's Claude Mythos, though groups tied to China and North Korea are exploring similar techniques. Hultquist emphasized that criminal hackers stand to gain immensely from AI's speed in weaponizing bugs. Dean Ball, a former White House tech policy advisor, highlighted the untold trillions of lines of software code at risk and predicted a transitional period where cybersecurity dangers significantly increase globally before AI tools potentially enhance safety in the long term. Matthew Ware, the leader of the opposition coalition, was elected as the new Prime Minister of the Solomon Islands on May 15th. This election followed a no-confidence vote against the previous Prime Minister Ware on May 7. In a closely contested prime ministerial nomination, Ware secured 26 votes, defeating former Foreign Minister Peter Chanel Agavaca, who received 22 votes. Another candidate, former Deputy Prime Minister Manes Mailonga, withdrew from the race just before the voting. Upon his election, Ware delivered a speech declaring, "The time for change has come." He emphasized the current globally difficult times and urged the nation's citizens to unite with courage. Ware's platform for change suggests a potential reassessment of the pro-China foreign policy adopted by the former administration. Key domestic challenges he highlighted include addressing oil shortages stemming from Middle East conflicts and revitalizing the economy. This report is from GG Press. UPI reports that South Korean shipbuilders are facing growing concerns over their increasing reliance on Chinese-made components, particularly within smaller and mid-sized shipyards. This trend emerges as South Korea expands its shipbuilding cooperation with the United States, which maintains strict limits on Chinese involvement in strategic supply chains. Industry officials warn that the widespread use of low-cost Chinese equipment could undermine South Korea's domestic shipbuilding supply chain ecosystem. While major shipbuilders like HD Hyundai Heavy Industries, Hanwha Ocean, and Samsung Heavy Industries are boosting localization for high-value vessels, smaller yards remain heavily dependent on imported Chinese parts. sometimes accounting for 20% to 40% of a ship's systems. Due to intense price competition in commercial markets, experts suggest government incentives are needed to encourage the adoption of domestically produced components and safeguard the long-term strength of the industry. Yonhap News Agency reports that South Korea's benchmark Korea Composite Stock Price Index, KOSPI, achieved a historic milestone on Friday, breaching the 8,000-point mark for the first time. This significant rally was primarily fueled by the sustained strong performance of large-cap technology shares, particularly those related to artificial intelligence. The KOSPI index had previously crossed the 7,000-point threshold just over a week earlier, on May 6th, demonstrating rapid growth. It experienced a record-breaking 5-session winning streak until Monday, driven by an optimistic outlook for the burgeoning AI sector. Although the market took a brief pause on Tuesday due to concerns over U.S.-Iran peace talks, Seoul shares quickly resumed their ascent, closing at a new peak of 790.81.41 on Thursday. Investor confidence was further bolstered by positive overnight performances on Wall Street, where the Nasdaq, S&P 500, and Dow Jones Industrial Average all posted gains. This was also influenced by news of an agreement between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping regarding Iran's nuclear ambitions and the Strait of Hormuz, alongside a strong rally in leading AI-related companies such as NVIDIA, Cisco Systems, Broadcom, and TSMC. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.